Dorothy guiding with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm here for the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, and I'm going to be creating a 12 by 12 layout featuring Vicki Boutin Fernwood Collection. I'm going to be showcasing one photo, but the page design can be adapted to accommodate more, and I'll talk about that throughout the process. Here are the supplies I've selected, paper and embellishments from the Fernwood collection, and all of these products are available at the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, or at least they were the last time I checked anyway. So I will link up the shop as well as the products I use in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started. And I did do a bit of preparation in advance. I prepared a frame style foundation page, something I often do, with 3 sheets of paper. I gutted 2 of them, and there is a tutorial on my channel where I explain how to do that, so that will be linked below. I matted one 6x4 photo in white cardstock. Now I'm showing you the paper. So I have the paper that I gutted from behind the foundation page, along with some others. I don't use it all, but I definitely play with it and make some decisions throughout the process. I'm also going to show you these alphas here. I put my title, on wax paper. It says On the Cliffs. Right now it's in the neutral color, but I may color it in later on. I'm going to make that decision throughout the process. I do have a bunch of embellishments in this tray, and I'll dig into that later on as well. Now the first thing I'm going to do is cut up a bunch of paper to create a layered mat that's going to go on top of my frame style foundation and underneath my photo. And I will put measurements for all of these page parts on the screen a little bit later on when I place them on the page. So basically what I'm setting up here to begin with is an upside down L design. The design takes a few twists and turns along the way simply because I'm just playing with product today. I'm just having fun with Vicki Boutin material. So here's how I'm starting it. Now I do want another layer, and I'm going to show you this die I use often from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's from her Planner Essentials series. In advance, I cut out that planner page in graph paper. The flip side is a wood grain paper. It is from the Simple Stories Woods collection. So you can see how I'm going about this. I'm going to layer it up underneath my photo on top of that vertical border, and the part underneath is going to be where I do my journaling. Now at this point, I want to continue with my layers. So what I want to do is cut out a circle, but I'm either going to do it in this teal paper or this craft color paper. Both of these are papers from the Fernwood collection. And fun fact, both of them, I bought them in multiples. I find them perfect solids to go with a lot of the prints in this collection. Anyway, I can't decide, so I end up cutting out a circle in the teal and a circle in that craft color, and then what I'll do is play around with it a bit and make a decision. If these were full sheets of paper, I probably wouldn't do this, but because they are scraps, I don't mind cutting into them. So that's why I'm doing that. Anyway, you're going to see me addition them both, and I end up going with the teal color. So I start with a craft one, which I like, but I find it a little kind of understated. Certainly because my photo is black and white, I want to add a bit more color here. So I cut that circle, the teal one, in half. By the way, that circle measures about 4 inches. And you can see how I place them, one at the top of the photo and one underneath, a little bit staggered over towards the left, the one underneath. Now I'm tucking in more pieces. So I tucked in 2 tags at the top and 1 at the bottom. And both of those were from a cut apart sheet from this collection that I cut apart for previous projects. What I did at the bottom is I used a tearing tool. You don't need that obviously, but I tore the bottom of each one of those papers in the vertical border. And now I'm placing everything back on the page just to make sure I like it. And I would like to point out that I'm definitely working with the layers. If you look at the top, you look at it in a little bit again when I put everything down, when I place the planner page, the circle, and the tags, they are all kind of intertwined. I am definitely working with the layers. And what you also saw me do was ink all of the edges. So all of these page parts were inked in the ink VersaFine Clair Morning Mist. And I inked them all except the photo mat and the journaling box, that planner page there. So now I'm happy with all of that. I know where these main parts are going to go, so I'm adhering everything to the page. And once all of this is on the page, then I can start thinking about my title along with my embellishing. Now, while I'm adhering all of this, I just want to talk about my photo for a minute. So I have one photo of me in Jamaica in 2019 on the cliffs in Negril. Beautiful, beautiful spot. Now, if I wanted to add more photos here, what I could do by still keeping the same design is replacing this 6x4 photo with two smaller ones, two 3x4 photos, for example. I could even make the photo smaller, maybe three 3x3 photos. But the idea here is to have kind of an upside down L, and the four photos are on the horizontal border towards the top of the page. So I have everything adhered. I definitely worked within all of those layers, so that creates a lot of texture. And now I'm showing you my title. So I plan to put it like a shelf underneath my photo. Now at this point, they're neutral, and I could leave them like that. But what I am thinking about doing is coloring them in. So I have an alcohol marker here. I have two of them actually from Stampin' Up, and the color is, I think, Pretty Peacock Light and Pretty Peacock Dark. So what I did was I tested it on a tiny little piece from that alpha set. I didn't want to use it on one of my good letters, so I took like an asterisk on it, and I just tried to see what it would look like. And I decided to go with the darker color, and now what you see me doing is coloring in the letter N. Now I end up doing it with the entire title, but I don't make you watch all of it because it did take a bit of time. I'm just showing you a little white gel pen because when I do this and if I go over the edges, I just correct the mistake by covering it up with a white gel pen, and it works perfect every time. I'm getting out all of my embellishing here. So I have chipboard, I have cut apart sheets, ephemera, and what I'm going to do is just start playing around with my layers. And the first thing I gravitated towards was anything that was orange. And the reason why I did that is because of that orange tag that I had already placed at the top of the photo. So you can see there over on the right of my photo, I put in, it almost looks like a library card or an index card with an orange file tab. And then underneath the photo, beneath the title, I put a little orange ticket. So that gave me like a visual triangle around my photo in orange, and I'm happy with that. From the chipboard, I found a little word chipboard piece that says change your perspective. So I put that underneath my title, and I'm happy with that. I have a little sticker of a camera that I'm tucking in above the photo. It's starting to get filled up here. I don't want to do too much more, but I am going to add a few finishing touches. So at this point, I am going to adhere what I've already decided upon because I'm getting way too many loose pieces around my desk. And when I go to adhere this title, I actually pop up these alphas with some foam adhesive so that it just kind of stands up a bit. I think it's the only thing I actually use with foam adhesive on the page, which is actually quite unlike me, but I guess with all of these layers going on, there is a lot of texture happening already on this layout. So you see me struggling a bit with the title. I think that was the hardest part for me. Anyway, I stopped the camera, continued adhering, and it's all down. Now what I want to do is finish off those tags. So I took a 1/2 inch circle punch and I cut out 3 black circles, which is the same paper that's in my foundation page, put it in the tags, and I finish off the tags with a little metallic dot. Those are from Pink Fresh Studio, and I have like a brushed metallic gold. So I'm happy with that. And I do want to put something in those tabs. So I have a tab in that file card over on the right of the photo, and I find a little sticker in the sticker book that says enjoy. And what I end up doing for the planner page, the tab there, you're going to see me get out a stamp set in a minute. It's a stamp set I often use from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's called Vacate Phrases, and I end up going with happy place, I think it says. Anyway, so you're going to see me just stamp in that tab on that planner page. And I also slipped in a little piece of cardboard because I do have a lot of layers happening there. So I figured if I didn't put something solid underneath my planner page, my stamping wouldn't come out crisp and clear, but it does perfectly fine. So I just tested it on a little piece of scrap paper there, and I'm happy with that. I'm almost done here. What you're going to see me do is I end up turning off the camera. I do my journaling, which isn't much. I'm just basically identifying where I am and when. But at this point, I'm thinking this is no longer an L design. It's more like a triangle design. It's almost like the top triangle of the page needs to be filled in, but the top left corner is empty. I actually looked off camera at the chipboard looking for some banners, for something to put up there, but nothing looked right. It all looked a bit junky to me. So I get the crazy idea to add some paint splatters. And I say crazy because I never use paint splatters. Anyway, so I have a couple drops of ink, black ink in that bowl, and a couple drips of water, and I'm testing it with a paintbrush. So at this point, you can see I've covered up the bottom, basically the bottom left corner of my page along with my photo, and I'm basically tapping my paintbrush on top of the top left corner and the bottom right. Then I go back and I do a bit more, and honestly, immediately I didn't like it. I thought, oh no, I have just totally ruined my page. What I did was I left it. I just walked away from it. When I came back, I figured I had two options. I could add more and just see what that looked like, or I could just simply lift up that entire photo mat cluster and replace it with white cardstock. So I decided to go with more first, and what I ended up doing was using a different color ink. So my first splatters were in black, and the second ones I did it in a color called Island Indigo. It's an old retired color from Stampin' Up. So I added that in the top left and bottom right corners as well, and I liked it more. So I ended up not having to change it after all. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, we would be absolutely thrilled if you did. And if you are a subscriber, thank you very, very much. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel as well, Scrapbooking Quebec. Have a fantastic day. Don't forget to check out the shop. The links are all below, and I'll see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.